Wait, what? No! No! Anything but that! Just kidding. More than ever, it's time to talk about the challenges we face over race. Together, we can make a difference.
Tom DeWolf was astounded to learn that he was related to the largest slave-trading dynasty in U.S. history, responsible for transporting more than 10,000 people from West Africa to North and South America and the Caribbean islands. He joined filmmaker Katrina Brown and 8 other distant cousins to retrace the steps of their ancestors through the notorious Triangle slave trade route from the United States to Ghana to Cuba and back. Tom is featured in the Emmy-nominated film of their journey. Traces of the Trade premiered at the Sundance Film Festival and on national television on the acclaimed PBS series POV. In a film focused on the horrors of slavery and racism, Tom brought both his heart and humor to the project.
5 rooms, 15 feet by 30 feet, and that's 1,000 people. Don't tell anybody.
Tom then wrote the acclaimed book Inheriting the Trade about his experiences of the family journey and what came after. His next book, Gather at the Table, is co-authored with Sharon Leslie Morgan. Tom speaks at colleges, universities, and other venues throughout the United States about racism, diversity, and overcoming intolerance. He joins students in taking a fresh look at history and how events from the distant past continue to haunt us today.
You know, there's times I wonder why I'm even doing this work anymore, because once we elected the black guy president, we became post-racial. All our problems were going to be solved. And so I took this image that my publisher uses for publicity, and I fixed it. There was a woman who wrote to me from California, and she said, you know, your book is good not because it solves anything, but because it gives us a glimpse of the enormity of the mess that we're in and a sense that we need to learn to live in the discomfort of it together.
Everybody happy to be here today? Wait, is everybody happy to be here today? Let me rephrase. This time I want the truth. Is everybody happy to be missing some classes in order to be here today? Yeah, that's the truth, right? The truth. We're told that the truth will set you free. But what they fail to tell you oftentimes is that before the truth sets you free, it will probably piss you off. This country was founded on the ideals of liberty and justice for all, but the truth is that this is a country built by immigrants. European men, white men, came here and annihilated 95% of the people who were here when they arrived, and they herded the rest on the reservations. They enslaved African people for 250 years and then terrorized them for another 100 years after the end of the Civil War. They went to the Southwest, and they wiped out a bunch of Hispanic people, stole their land, and that became the southwestern United States. They locked up a bunch of Americans of Japanese descent during World War II in the concentration camps. They didn't even let women vote for over 400 years after Columbus arrived here. And they stole Hawaii. We don't like to talk about that one because everybody thinks it would be really cool to go to Maui for vacation, right? But I'm here to tell you, it's been great, wonderful to be a white man in America for several centuries now. You got all the power, all the money, all the control, but the result has been residually injustice, intolerance, and inequity continues to cause harm to people of color and women in this country. And these are the issues that we need to deal with. I mean, these guys wrote these ideals in our founding documents. And sometimes I think they need a little revisiting, like our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. United? Have these people seen any political commercials during an election year? Of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, unless you're Muslim, or Mormon, or atheist. Indivisible. Well, divisible by race, gender, class, religion, with liberty and justice for some, and for lots of other people, maybe not so much. These are the issues that we face in this country, and yet we've come a tremendously long way since this country was founded. Don't get me wrong, I think this is a great place and we've done some wonderful things and we ought to celebrate our successes. I mean, it was a horrible time where over 500,000 people died in the Civil War, but it made for big changes in this country. Civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s made for big changes in this country. And we have elected our first black president. That's a big change. The membership rolls in white supremacist groups have grown off the charts since Barack Obama took office, but be that as may, I think we ought to celebrate the good things that have happened in this country while recognizing that we still have a long way to go. Racism is alive and well in America, in politics, on television, and on college campuses. You all know the drill. You've heard the inappropriate language, the jokes, the parties. Michigan State's campus this year, there's a little black doll hung by a noose outside of a chemistry lab, and elsewhere on campus, a racial epithet is spray painted on the bathroom door, the women's bathroom door. These and other incidents have this campus in an uproar, and racism also spreads more quietly through like Facebook, and texting, and YouTube. And these are the issues that come up. I mean, it's like we have increased our technology, right? But we haven't always increased our understanding of each other at the same rate. I mean, we're all a lot more connected, and yet we remain strangely disconnected from each other in so many ways. And it's hard to figure out what is it that we can do, right? I mean, colleges are terrific at responding to the big, overt, huge racist incidents. When you start dealing with the more subtle things, the more almost invisible, ignorant incidents, we don't know what to do, and that's where you want to come in. You have the opportunity to make a big difference on your campuses, with your fellow students, in your own lives. You can do that because you've got resources available to you. You've seen some speakers before me and after me. This whole weekend you're going to see a lot of opportunity here. What are you doing on your campuses that you're creating yourselves that can make a difference? What kind of things are you bringing to your campus that will help make a difference? Those are the questions you need to ask. And I know this is not easy stuff. I mean, look at me, I'm descended from the largest slave trading dynasty in U.S. history. I know that this can be an awkward conversation. It's difficult to deal with. But these are the kind of things I'd like to talk with you about in the next couple of days. Talk to you over meals, at my booth in the exhibit hall, come to my ed session tomorrow morning, and we'll talk in more detail about ways that you can be more effective using speakers on your campus. And we'll talk about some of these issues related to intolerance as well. If I come to your campus, which, okay, I got to tell you, we've already had one exhibit hall session, and I've noticed a few of you scurrying past my booth. It's the one that says, let's talk about race. It's like eyes averted, this is the guy that wants to talk about race. No, we're not going to deal with that. I'm not scary. I don't have the snakes, so I'm less scary than the snakes. But I wish I had that cute little monkey, because then everybody would want to come and talk. If you bring me to your campus, in addition to the main presentation, I'll be happy to meet with individual classes, with multicultural groups on campus or other organizations, and really try to provide you with the kind of resources where we can talk, we can laugh, we can struggle, and deal specifically with the outcomes that you want to see happen at your schools. So that's the kind of work that we can do. And I know that you think that this is difficult work. It's like, this elephant in the room is a little bit too big. It's too hard for me to deal with. I don't know that I can handle it. I'm just one person, and I've been there. I'm just one guy. And then I think to myself what Gandhi said. Anyone who thinks that they're too small to make a difference has never been alone in a tent with a mosquito. You got decisions to make over these next 2 days. You're going to be seeing all kinds of really talented people that are going to bring wonderful, good things to your fellow students on campuses. And you'll end up having to make some tough decisions. And you're going to have lists of things you want, and you're going to have lists of things you think you really need. Confronting intolerance is a skill that you need. Let's talk about race. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.
Give a hand